Hi guys, welcome back, or if you're new, why don't you subscribe if you like the video, because it would mean a lot to us. It would. But today we're going to be ranking all 69th episodes throughout the Arrowverse shows, and I personally enjoyed this list. It was a tiny list after making the, numbers in the 50s that I've been making for the past 2 weeks. Those videos take like 2 weeks to make, so... And we did a director's commentary for Batman Darkest Knight, so if you would enjoy that stuff, go check that out. Now let's get into this.
I'm a hero, Alex. I take risks. We'll make her dead.
Heroes go out there. That's what makes them heroes. Supergirl, all new.
This episode is not a very good episode. I like the kryptonite suit. It looks good. But the only reason was that they used it was because Melissa Benoist was out on Broadway for the first 4 episodes. But this episode, actually, fun fact, came out on my birthday. And this episode is just a random filler episode. It deals with Otis Graves and Mercy Graves. So this episode was just bland and...
Batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
This episode was just another episode of Batman, and it's unfortunately in season 2, which, if you didn't know, has 60 episodes, and it's episode 35. So throughout the season, the middle episodes between like 30 all the way through like 60 are just, when am I gonna get over with? Oh my god. And it just keeps getting worse and worse now, so you can see this episode. I don't think this episode is that good in a Batman the Animated Series like episode. I don't think season 2 is as good as season 1. But this episode was just a Ra's al Ghul episode. Ra's al Ghul is voiced perfectly in the JCAU, exactly how you'd expect him to sound. But this episode, I do like this episode. I like most episodes of Batman the Animated Series.
Today, I become a god.
The reason why this episode isn't that good is because of the HR twist. It was very predictable, and before this episode came out, it was a joke in the fan base that HR was going to use his face thing to disguise himself as Iris. Clearly, the writers thought that was a good idea. It wasn't, and Barry only being stuck in the Speed Force for 1 episode was a bad idea too.
I have created a simple app that will change the world.
In exchange for this service, the user agrees to forfeit their eternal soul. Anyone who downloads the app is going to hell.
We're toast. DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
I'm not a big fan of Legends of Tomorrow Season 4. I think it's a better season. I think it's okay, but this episode, I really don't like. I mean, I like some parts of it, but Ray's stupid haircut. I hate, Brandon Ralph's haircut in these back episodes with the kind of long hair. It just sucks. And this episode, I just wasn't a big fan of, so that's why it's right here.
Perfect body.
So you have been checking me out.
These girls have gone too far. A town's obsession with beauty
Anna, what are you doing here?
has seductive side effects. Smallville, Krypton.
This episode was okay. It wasn't like the best. It's a weird premise, as you can tell from the trailer, but and it gets even weirder after what she learned happened with Allison Mack during the filming of Smallville. It wasn't during this episode, but it got pretty weird later on. But this episode, it was a season 4 episode, so it was actually okay. And Lois Lane was introduced, not in this episode, but in that season. So
He doesn't think so.
The last thing you will see is your beloved city succumbing to disease and death.
No.
Your name is Al-Sahim.
My name is Oliver Queen.
I actually think this episode is good. I like how I like this episode. I think the Also Him story should have started after the return, or like the return should have taken place after episode 12, because I like the Brick storyline. So it should have, the Also Him not a Parbat storyline should have started after the return. So that was the only fault in this season, but I love that Speedy.
Lucifer 2.0.
You're back. Great.
How could you go home without me?
I'm not Lucifer.
Lucifer told me he had a twin brother.
Nice to meet you. I'm Michael. I am not going to break Lucifer's life. I'm going to take it. He is stronger than you think.
What do you truly desire?
This episode was one of the best episodes of Lucifer Season 5. Honestly, due to the show, I'm surprised they didn't make a 69 joke. And, but this episode was the episode where, Chloe figures out that, Lucifer is Michael in this episode. And Lucifer, as they say, comes back in this episode, but no, it's really Michael. So that was really it. This is really short for the content I usually post, unlike the 4x20, but I can make a season 6 episode 9 ranking video if you guys want it. But that's all. We would really appreciate if you would check out that Darkest Night Director's commentary, and next week I'm coming out with Arrowverse Connections Part 2. I don't know how many parts it's going to have, but that's what's coming out next week, and see you next week. Bye.